or the MyTuner app, Radio Garden app, and you can also join us on Facebook at Kaieteur Radio. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. Let's get to the news in detail. A former construction giant executive took part in an elaborate conspiracy to bribe Iraqi government officials, including the former deputy prime minister and two former oil ministers, to secure oil contracts worth billions of dollars, police allege in court documents. Details of the allegations claiming an intricate scandal can be revealed after Brisbane man Russell John Waugh fronted court last Wednesday on charges of foreign bribery. In other news, Brian Tiwari's BK International Incorporated has finally vacated the site of the said to be prestigious $827 million Yarukabra Secondary School after Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General Anil Nandlal had terminated the contract with immediate effect some 21 days ago. In the termination letter, the AG had reminded BK International that it had committed a fundamental breach of the terms of the contract, which resulted in the government exercising its right to terminate it. In that same letter, the contractor was instructed to remove all personnel and machinery from the site. In other news, UG is seeking to physically reopen their Turkine and Berbice campuses to a lessened student population soon in light of the ongoing pandemic. It is understood that 95% of the university's classes are currently being conducted online. However, the physical reopening will see students whose classes require some amount of practical work being able to access face-to-face classes. This fraction of students includes engineering students and students studying the sciences, which may require them utilizing the laboratories and other facilities for their practical components. And moving on, opposition leader Joseph Harmon yesterday spoke favorably of the position by former Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman that there should be an independent probe into suspicious oil blocks giveaways by a competent independent firm. Now, Trotman had said that he would prefer that there be an investigation into the awards, as an anti-corruption watchdog, Global Witness, recommended in a report earlier this year. In its call for an investigation into the award, Global Witness said that Trotman ignored expert advice on multiple occasions and signed the agreement away in a very short period, leaving $55 billion on the table. In other news, four senior officers from the police force finance unit were sent on administrative leave as investigators probe the alleged misappropriation of $150 million. Sources said that the force's finance officer, Superintendent Marceline Washington, her deputy Frank Jackman Wilberg, along with two other high-ranking officers, were sent on leave. Sources were sketchy on the details but revealed that the four officers received letters to immediately proceed on leave. It is understood that the missing funds were allotted to officers for extra duties performed. But while the documents were signed to say that the funds were released, they reportedly never reached into the hands of the ranks. In other news, the female mastermind of the gruesome murder of Lagrange businesswoman, 85-year-old Bibi Ramjet, has escaped from police custody. The police have since issued a wanted bulletin for 30-year-old Janki Tapsi of Davis Weg No. 7 District, Kamewanji, Suriname, and Monripo, East Coast Amarara. She is wanted in relation to the murder of Ramjet, who was found dead on October 25th in the upper flat of her two-story home and business place at Lagrange. She will be slapped with charges relating to her escape when captured. Regional Commander Jairam Ramlakan confirmed that Tapsi escaped from a toilet at the Springlands police station moments after she was handed over by the Surinamese authorities. Let's tell you now that a senior manager was among 11 GRA staffers who were suspended as authorities continue their probe into Belgium's seizure of 11.5 tons of cocaine shipped from Guyana. Investigators have discovered that the scanned images of the containers taken at the Lombard Street facility manned by GRA's staffers were deleted. It is understood that 4 containers left Guyana on September 25th, shipped by Marlon Primo's MA Trading of Atlanticville, East Coast and Marara, to consignee Latraco Recycling BV. According to sources, only images of 3 containers were found. The images of the 4th were deleted. And now let's tell you that despite holding relations close to the natural resources sector, as well as the expertise, former Natural Resources Minister Raffle Trotman and former Public Infrastructure Minister David Patterson were not included as members of the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Natural Resources. Instead, former Minister of State Don Hastings Williams, former Minister of Telecommunications Catherine Hughes, members of Parliament Vincent Henry and Dionarayan Ramsarup were nominated to serve on the committee. Notably, these proposals were made by Trotman himself and seconded by Sherrod Duncan. This committee has critical oversight responsibilities for the mining, forestry, and oil and gas sector. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening and do have an enjoyable and safe Saturday night.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar